Hi everybody, I'm going to scoot in here today, make it a little bit more personal. I'm doing a VR and this goes out to the Wild Witch Star. And I got excited when she started doing the elemental energies. And this week, unless I'm late, could be late, I think it's the earth energies. So I'm going to be showing you how I, through her prompts, connect to the earth energies. Hang tight. Okay, we are focused again here. So if I'm going to be connecting to the earth energies, I'm just going to adjust the camera so it's a little better for you here. So I'll try not to block the camera too much, but if I'm going to ground, this is where I'm going to come. Now, if I get my cheat sheet that I've got all the prompts on, yes, it's elemental foundations of the earth. And the first question being, in what way do you connect with earth energy in your daily life? Well, if I need to reground, reconnect, find me again, I'm going to be up here at my table. And you can see that I'm trying to bring in some of the earth into here. Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and I'll tip that down a bit more. Not in any way to show off what I'm working on, but to show how I connect to the earth energies. So over to the right, I got my watercolors, I got some water, I got some plants that connect me, but I'm also bringing in tons of stuff lately from the forest. And I do have an oracle that I use to stimulate myself in getting the earth energy and some focus going on here. So the one deck that I'm using, I'll scoot in here, is, I've showed it before, the Sisterhood of the Seers Oracle. It is watercolor imagery. It takes me to a peaceful place and allows me to connect. So as you can see over here, I got bark, I got moss downstairs, and I got the card. So I pulled a card this morning there. And if we get a little bit closer and zoom in, you can see that one. So it is suggesting to activate peace and calm. And that is basically what we're doing here. So this little stick has got to work its way into the picture. If I pull back again, I'm just bringing in, as I say, tons and tons of elements from the forest. And I worked in a little crystal here, but it's going to get the toning down with this gray from this piece of, it looks like, driftwood, but it's not. It's just nicely formed. And it's going to be going in here a little bit. So this will tone this down, maybe some more leaves or moss. But this brush that I'm holding, this turned out to be fantastic. But it's not an art lesson today. We're just talking about grounding. But this was fantastic for softening edges. Really liked that. So you can see for me, it's all about nature. It's bringing it to the table, holding it, picking colors from my palette over here to, honor the colors that nature puts out there because my gosh, she does it so darn well. And I know nature takes in other elements, but today it's the earthy elements, things that grow for me, things that I can bring and study and connect to. So having on my old smock with all the paint all over it, being here just brings me down into that peaceful state. And although I'm grounding, my heart when I paint is singing. So I thought I would show you some of the music that I put on to connect with. And you might be surprised because I'm an oldie, it's an oldie, but I shall show you. Hang on. Yes, it is Jethro Tull. So if I'm going to be connecting to my painting, I usually select one album and I play it over and over and over again until the picture is done. And the music grounds me. It brings me into that space that I need to be in. And with this album, the lyrics, I can sing to it. It speaks of the woods. And if I just bring a few of them forward here for you to see, I'll get my other glasses and I'll just, he illustrates nature so dang well. So it's a classy looking cover, back to nature in the back, but it's the songs and the lyrics that take me where I need to go to ground in order to pick up everything Mother Nature is trying to tell me through the things that I bring into the house. So the lyrics for the one song, Songs from the Wood. Let me bring you songs from the wood to make you feel much better than you could know. Dust you down from tip to toe, show you how the garden grows. Hold you steady as you go. Join the chorus if you can. It'll make of you an honest man. And the hunting girl in here is another one that's really neat. And you can see the lyrics there. It's just the playfulness of it, but also when it gets into this ring out solstice bells, this chorus here, you can really feel yourself immersed in Mother Nature. And we are fall heading into winter. So for me, all these lyrics help me ground. This is another sort of area that I come to often during the day. And it is so relaxing to head to the garden. I know I've lost the ability to gather them now. The deer came and ate a lot of the heads that were left over. But it's mid-November and, it's fun to dry them, gather them for future work. And for me to connect with nature is often doing rituals connected to her elements. And this one here, the mother plant gave off a whole bunch of branches, and it's a Christmas cactus. So I've been working on that and trying to grow some more here. So again, connecting to nature by growing. And I guess it was a gift that she gave me the pieces that fell off, because now I can start even more. So now we're going to head to somewhere completely different for the next question. Okay, hopefully it's not too jittery. But the second question was from Star: how does the element of earth influence, hold that steady, your personal growth and stability? The element of earth for me comes also through my essential oils. So doing rituals, building spells for working on candles, energy, connecting, it's all starting sometimes here. And I have little essential oils and little containers and bags. And all of these, there's my grinder. That's the one I was talking about when making my powdered hex powder the other day. I can speak. My hex powder. Yeah, I was using an old grinder. It's a coffee grinder. So I'm not contaminating anything that we would be eating from. But, it's all these tools that help me connect. And it is such a nice feeling to build your own potions and notions and spells, right? So this is where I come down into my witch's den. There's a little altar I have going for my grandmother, and I just got that Lenormand Dreaming Way. So she quickly claimed that as her deck. So when I want to connect to her, and I think of ancestors as connecting in an earthy way, I'll go to that deck. But I have my candles and little cheat sheets hanging here that tell me everything I need to know or hope to understand from the crystals, which are grounding too, and it goes on. But let's go to a different spot. Okay, weird shot, I know, but I'll move the camera a little bit. The third question. Three fingers, Laura. Three. Okay. In what ways do you work with Earth in your unique spiritual journey? This was Care of Star, definitely, because I wanted to bring the element of fire together with Earth, and I did that, I thought, with the ivy. So I popped a little ivy into here, and my husband and I just sort of let it go where it needed to go, and we added in some light. So it's one of those elements in the room that takes in a lot more than just earth, I guess, because I've got the fire element of the candles, and I'm trying to group them in like colors. But the earth element is definitely the ivy, and it ties it all together because when you light the candle, you've got the fire plus the air. The only thing that's missing, I guess, is the water, and I tried to get that cascade with the ivy happening here. And of course, if you're going to keep a plant alive, you've got to water it. So these are all boxes that I took out of a wall display unit. I didn't want the display unit, I just wanted the boxes. And so for me, being unique in my practice is part of what gets me going, gets the energy going. And so to be able to combine almost all the elements here was wonderful. So Star kicked it off. I needed to bring in the earth energy, and then I built the candles and we hung them a little bit separately. But there is actually a better way to show you bringing in the earth element. So hang tight. There's little touches around the room in that I found, care of Happy again, a whole bunch of moss. So I've sort of set my wand, which is made of wood, and stone, which is earth elements, in with the moss. And although moss grows on trees and I think of it as earthy, to me it's also an air element. And then over here, we're working on bringing all the twigs in. I think we've got everything we want now to surround this area as it comes down to here. And now it just needs a little bit of fairy light as well. So that is earth energy that is definitely coming in. I brought my sage ring from my last ritual over here. And right outside my window here is a garden. But what we did was find some branches to support. He's hard to see in here, but this is my owl. And I'm trying to bring a more natural, earthy place for him to sit, which is near my altar. And so there's, the stand to hold it if necessary. Yes, it was. But the owl itself is stone. And you're not getting a good look at it because we are in front of the window, but there she sits. Now this is directly on my altar. So I have lots of crystals here for the earth element. I'm working on a prosperity spell over here. And these did come from a previous mix that went into my coffin for my Santa Muerte altar here. So I've got to replenish this again. She allowed me to take some of it out. And so here it sits. And the idea was close to the new moon or during the new moon, bring back some more energy and thoughts into the idea of the prosperity and what it means to me and the abundance that, Earth does provide. And I do have some stones in here, some amethyst, quartz, and moonstone. So that brings the earth energy into the water here. And I quite often come down and light a candle and all the elements of the altar here with her. And Essential oils to me come from Mother Earth. This is rose based and it grew in Mother Earth. So I usually put 3 drops in the water here and stir it to connect to both the water element and the earth. And then you've got the fragrance, which is air, all sitting by the fire. So yes, today's video is concentrating on the earth, but for me, it seems to be a blend and a balance of all. And this is another way to bring some more of Mother Nature in, just her own creation, the twigs that we can find in the forest. And adding a little bit of twinkly lights. And I think I'm probably going to add some bark in the bottom of this or moss to bring more of that earth element in because it makes me happy. Okay, get my fingers out of the way here. The next prompt was, in moments of disconnect from the earth element, what practices help you to reconnect? I'm quite enjoying my ancestral deck I inherited on my husband's side. And so if I need to reconnect, talking to Ruth, which was her name, through that, making notes, learning things that she can teach me, that helps me reconnect. And it seems to be this deck of hers that's doing that for sure. And then I have the cloth here that I just have to make, and that's another way of connecting and grounding is to sew something. So I'll be making shortly a little cloth because it goes so well with those cards. And that helps me reconnect. Okay, the next prompt was, what lessons have you learned from the earth element? That I just can't be apart from her for very long. The usual, I guess, respect Mother Nature. We are of the earth, we return to the earth. And looking here at this deck that I'm about to unbox for another video, they are cards, they are cardboard. They come from trees which are connected to earth. So whenever I hold cards, that is a way of grounding. So she's teaching me that she's in everything all around me. And that is very comforting. Now, there was a question, how do you incorporate earth energy into your home and your environment? Well, I think I've shown enough to answer that question, but this goes on to the next one. Is there a new practice or approach with earth energy that you would like to explore? Did just find this. This magical spell book looks like it's going to help connect me. It's older, yeah, to some earth energies. And I haven't really had a chance to go through it. It's been sitting on my shelf for quite a while, but you can see the author there. Pure magic, getting back to, the ritual. For me, doing ritual, building the spell, as I say, creating the powders, grinding them, putting my essence and my magic of my own that I've been gifted from the ancestors into things that I do. So I hope to get these old books humming again. And of course, I do have this to do, which will help ground me and connect me again. But for now, I'm going to say, Star, thank you very much for creating this elemental foundations of earth for us to all jump on. I watched Debbie's witchy vlog this morning, and she was talking about her ways and her magic, and we are so similar with all the things, with the garden and the walking and those peaceful times that we can connect, and needing to do that, even if it's just once a day. Despite it being cold today, I plan to get dressed, go out, and although the riverbed is dry, the rocks and stone are there, and I can walk along it, and I can think about other ways to connect with earth energy. So thank you, Star, and thank everyone out there for watching. And I hope to see more videos on this because it does spur us along, doesn't it? Blessings.